Good Tuesday afternoon to you, Roger Hill of Wuthering Heights. This weather video is driven by 802cars.com, representing 802 Toyota, Twin Cities Subaru, 802 Honda, all located off of exit 7 on Interstate 89. Looking at the big picture, first precipitation and weather types affecting these particular stations. You might also know there's a pretty complex and fairly strong bit of wind that's pushing across portions of eastern Montana, parts of Wyoming into the Dakotas. This is associated with this area of low pressure that's relatively strong. And that's also producing a lot of warm temperatures up just out ahead of a frontal boundary. It's with that frontal boundary we're finding the strongest winds, and of course on the backside of this area of low pressure. Out ahead of that, a little bit of a ridge of higher pressure, and that's what's going to work in for tomorrow, Wednesday. But first we have this northwesterly flow with a little bit of moisture coming in. This moisture associated with some flurries and a little bit of mountain snow shower activity that typically has trouble this time of year letting go. The source regions are the Great Lakes, and anytime you get a cold flow in from the west or northwest, you're going to get the lake effect bit of business that interacts with the mountain terrain. But overall, no utility impacts are anticipated for this particular period. A northwesterly flow in progress right now with those embedded flurries, mountain snow showers, all of that winds down for Tuesday night. Limited accumulations. Good project weather again for tomorrow as that ridge of higher pressure will push on in. And then we have a frontal boundary with rain showers that'll return, and it gets a little bit more interesting after that point. But overall, looking at strong wind gusts here, you can see where they are with this particular weather system, that ridge of higher pressure pushing across the region. Let's take a look at some of the computer modeling. Looking at the European model with the 6-hour depiction of precipitation and pressure patterns, we have this ridge of higher pressure that juts up into Canada, and this is what's going to be controlling our weather during the day tomorrow, Wednesday. So any of the leftover flurries or snow showers wind down considerably, and that ridge of higher pressure will take over at 1028 hectopascals, centered just a little east of Vermont. By the time we get into the late part of the day, we do have this frontal boundary with this storm system. This is the one that's also producing quite a bit of wind. 994 hectopascal, fairly deep area of low pressure tracking across the prairies and into the eastern part of Canada. But what's going to happen is this bit of showers with this frontal system is going to produce some rain showers during the overnight period on Wednesday night into Thursday morning. It's mainly going to affect very far northern and western parts of Vermont up near the Canadian border. And then eventually what it's going to do is it's going to overspread all of the region by later in the day on Thursday. Now there's going to be a fairly significant warm-up as we're going to see the import of much warmer air through the Ohio Valley and then up the eastern seaboard and into Vermont, where temperatures are going to be in that sort of 55, almost 60 degree range by the time we max out during the afternoon on Thursday. And then that'll be followed by that frontal boundary, which will cool us off, and much colder air on the backside associated with the windup of this particular system here. And as it does so, it's going to change probably to some high mountain snowfall. And then on Friday, we just have some leftover snow showers and flurries, kind of like what we've been seeing for today, Tuesday. It looks like 1032 hectopascal area of higher pressure over the Ohio Valley will begin to really set up the pattern and actually will increase and strengthen. That's good news, as it'll put the block over the weekend for any kind of residual storminess. So once we get on the other side of that, though, it gets kind of interesting. We have the formation of some subtropical moisture that's going to start to hook around this area of higher pressure. And as the area of higher pressure sort of pushes off to the east, you're going to see this strong system here that's going to dig down, and a lot of jet stream energy associated with this puppy. 991 hectopascal surface flow centered over the Great Lakes. This is going to probably force a lot of moisture coming up and riding northward, and also warmer temperatures once again. So along about Monday and into Monday night, Tuesday night into Wednesday, you can see what we're looking at here with a potential nor'easter and then hooking left and then back into western parts of New York. I've seen various solutions to this, so take this with a grain of salt, but needless to say, we're looking at something interesting here to develop along about Tuesday or Wednesday of next week. Looking at the 3-hourly, we'll go to 3-hourly QPF here, and you can see the various storm systems. So a little bit of smidgen here, a little bit of this business here with this one other system that's going to be moving on in, but really not a great load of precipitation according to the GFS ensemble. And you can see this is 0.5 of an inch, That's 1 inch, 1.5, and so forth. So the green is the most recent deterministic model. The ensembles is the average, and the black there even less. So it's a little bit of an uptick in most recent times, but we're not looking at anything major here. QPF from the Weather Prediction Center for the next 7 days, running about 1 inch to about a half an inch. This is 1 inch amounts and 1.5, probably lake effect, and so forth. Climate Reanalyzer shows basically some cooler weather from the Great Lakes and parts of adjacent Canada into the Northeast and a good portion of the East Coast. Warmer weather, it looks like around the corner here, really building up from California in the interior sections, and you saw temperatures are already basically in the 60s and even some low 70s in some parts of the plains, and that's anomalous. Colder areas behind that, that's what's going to be dropping in with that second area of higher pressure that's located over Alaska. The very coldest is right over Alaska, and also it looks like in the western part of Greenland near the Davis Strait and so forth. Here's the temperature pattern. What you can see is kind of a spike that'll be occurring on Thursday. That's that high temperature here, and then a sharp cold front lowers the temperatures back kind of where they were, and then another spike that so far the GFS is not onto, but the European is also indicating similar around 55, 57 degrees and so forth. Now looking at the dew point temperatures and moisture levels, we can see that also that comes with a spike of rain, and indeed that's what would be taking place. Some rain later in the afternoon, and then a drop off in moisture and then repeat. What about 850 temperature? We go above normal, well above the 0 degree isotherm, so this is all rain here. This would be snow, and this will likely be rain later on. Now looking at the actual precipitation type, it looks like this. And then we're going to take a look at total snow here. So a little bit of an uptick here. This is 1 inch, 2 inch, 3 inch, 4. So just a little bit in the higher terrain once we get into that looks like Thursday night, Friday. And then a second system beyond the weekend. Meteorological output statistics show here, and temperatures again showing that warm anomalous. And you get into the east, it's a little colder than normal. And of course colder than normal up around Alaska. What about 3 days later? Looks like we cooled things off, especially with that upper low is going to start to park. This is 3 to 7 days out from the Weather Prediction Center. And finally, I wanted to show you this daily anomaly. Looks like this. So again, soil moisture is really under the little bit of snow that we have is actually drier than normal. In northern parts of Vermont, just about normal in the white, and then above normal in southern parts of Vermont. That's it from here. Roger Hill, Wuthering Heights. Thanks for watching.